this too shall pass. I always tell myself these 4 words that allow me to encounter any sort of obstacle that I face in my life. And I know a lot of you might be feeling demoralized and feeling quite worried in these current circumstances. And you're not alone. I'm also a part of that as well. But in this video, I'll discuss 5 main steps that I take in order to encounter any of the struggles, any of the problems, any of the absurdity, any of the obstacles that I might face in my life. So let's get into it. Hi guys, my name is Ahmed and I'm an entrepreneur and an educator who's helped hundreds of clients overcome their limiting beliefs and their struggles. And on this channel, I specifically talk about things to do with mindset and personal development. So if you want to challenge some of your own beliefs and overcome some of your own struggles, consider subscribing to this channel and hitting the bell notification, as it will really help grow this channel. I had a pleasure of going to Jordan and climbing their tallest mountain, Jabal ad-Dami. Now, climbing this mountain is not easy whatsoever. It's actually 2,000 meters up in the sky, and it takes a whole day to climb that mountain, and you have to be very well equipped to be able to scramble on top of the mountain. It was a considerably big challenge for me, as I'm not an avid hiker, as I don't do this, and I just did it because I wanted to really challenge myself and see how I do in that challenge. Now, while I was climbing up the mountain, of course you go through periods of times where you don't want to continue, where you don't want to carry on, and I had to really ask myself these 5 things to really allow me to move forward. The first thing is to accept the reality of your circumstances. Ask yourself the question, what is this trying to teach me? Because once you ask that question, you'd be able to realize what you're meant for. What is the purpose of you doing this such task? What is the purpose of these circumstances? And it will really help you understand your psychology and how you can overcome your own limiting beliefs. Once you understand the first step, you'd be able to understand the second step, which is to tell yourself that this is temporary. This won't last. This will pass. So asking and telling yourself consistently, this is what I was doing while I was climbing up the mountain every single time when I was struggling, when I was sitting down, and I was telling myself that this is temporary, this struggle is temporary, and whatever's beyond the horizon, whatever's on that mountain is going to be magnificent. So I should carry on and I should not worry about how difficult this is right now. After going through the first 2 steps, you kind of get to the point where you start to analyze your mistakes. You start to analyze what you have done to contribute to this sort of circumstances. And while I was climbing the mountain, actually fell down and injured my leg and my knee, and I was not able to continue at that point. Now, I obviously, and at that simple time, while I was just sitting down and thinking about the struggle that I'm in and the pain that I'm sustaining at the moment, should I carry on going upwards or should I actually go back down? I had to really make an important decision, and at that point step 3 really helped me, and that leads me nicely onto step 4, which is to take 1 step at a time. Always tell yourself that I will be able to do this task, I'll be able to overcome this problem if I'm able to break all of this problem down into the most manageable and most tangible actions that I can take. And slow down. That's extremely important, because at that point, especially when you're in a vulnerable position, you don't want to expose yourself into more and more difficulties that you can't handle. So it's good to slow down, analyze your mistakes, and then move forward. And last but not least, enlist support. You need support when you're overcoming obstacles. You need people around you who are able to tell you whatever you're doing is good, whatever you're doing is right. When I was climbing this mountain and I got injured, I needed people around me to help me, support me, to encourage me that I could still move forward, that I can still do this. And once you climb to the top of the mountain, the views are absolutely magnificent. The views are just mesmerizing, and this is what overcoming obstacles is all about. I think climbing mountain has taught me that you will always have adversity when you're starting off. You'll always have adversity when you're even going to close to the top of the mountain. But once you get on top of the mountain, you'll be able to see things nobody else is able to see, because they have not climbed what you have climbed. They have not seen what you have seen. And I know because of these COVID-19 crises, a lot of the businesses, a lot of the people who are staying at home are extremely worried about their health, about their wealth, about the amount of money they have, and about their investments, about their mindset. And I would definitely recommend that you go through these 6 steps every single time and ask yourself questions, that the way I ask myself these questions, and that has allowed me to understand this whole scenario. To be honest with you, this mountain analogy was just a small analogy, just to show you that this is definitely possible. And just by climbing mountains, you got to understand that there's lot more obstacles in life which were much more important, which are much more difficult and much more needed to be overcome by us. So we can't just sit around, we can't just do anything about it. We need each other's support to move forward, to really overcome our problems and really come up with tangible solutions in any adversity that you may face in life, and you will. It's very important that you go through these 5 steps one by one and ask yourself these questions that will allow you to grow more and understand who you are as a person. And because if you do that, the struggles become a lot more manageable and a lot easier to deal with, and you'll be able to achieve amazing results. I hope this video was useful to you, and I hope that I have contributed even a little bit to your life. And if you find this useful, please do give me a like and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.